Except for Native Americans, this is the trade room for everyone else visiting the fort. We have the image of the buckskin-clad mountain man, who would have been one of the people coming to the fort to trade. But since the fort was on the Trapper's Trail, there would be also fellow traders and on occasion a military expedition with soldiers stopping by, such as was the case in 1842 when John C. Fremont on his second Western expedition paid a brief visit to Fort Lancaster. On the counter of the trade room, you might see a buffalo hide. This is what the fort was established to trade for. Around 1830, the silk hat had been introduced into European fashion, and the demand for beaver pelts began to drop. About 1838 or 39, Pierre Chouteau wrote all of the American Fur Company posts on the Missouri River not to ship beaver to the States because it was worth only 50 cents to the pound. This led to the opportunity for large companies such as Bent and St. Vrain and Company, and smaller entrepreneurs like Lancaster Lupton to create a buffalo-based hide business with the Native Americans. Buffalo hides were shipped to St. Louis and from there on to the eastern states and England. Some of them were kept at the fort for local trade. At this time, the Industrial Revolution was beginning, and England was importing water buffalo hides from India and bison hides from the United States to use as power drive belts in the factories. Buffalo hide was desired because it does not stretch under tension and was good for such industrial use. Contrary to popular belief, not everyone in the West wore moccasins. Trading for shoes, bar lead, and gunpowder were big trade items, as well as coffee, sugar, and salt. One of the most sought-after trade items were glass beads, cloth, vermilion, and blankets. Glass beads were shipped in from Venice, Italy, to America. Glass beads have been a trade item with Native Americans since the mid-1600s. Vermilion came from China, and wool blankets from England. So you can see Lancaster's fort was the endpoint for world trade. On the counter, you will see an authentic Hudson Bay 4-point blanket. It has many uses, such as tailoring into a capote, which is a woolen coat to wear. It is lighter than a buffalo hide, but still as warm. Notice the writing stand and inkwell and quill pen. There is no money here in the 1840s. Everything was done on credit. Traders would buy all of their trade goods on credit, due in 1 year, plus interest and insurance. Lancaster would hire 20 to 30 men for a 1-year period, payable at the end of the term, minus any purchases in the trader's store. Clerks kept track of the sales and purchases during the year and sent the records to Westport or St. Louis at the end of the year, where individual accounts were settled with banknotes. Traders could make $300 to $400 or more a year by trading profitably at a time when a farmer in the States made less than $100 in a year. While traders could do quite well, other workers at the fort were paid more modestly, $3 to $10 per month. Payments were in goods, charged at about 300% to 400% markup from what they would cost in Westport or St. Louis. But keep in mind the cost of freight, food, and housing the trader had to bear.